Oh, sorry, wrong name there. I don't know how that happened.
Did you set his name to always late?
No, this is a typo. You know, like when you always type and just typos. I try to put Andrew.
It's autocorrect.
It was
You put
autocorrect.
Invictus and it just came up as always late.
Yeah, I put Andrew and it's always late. And I was like, fuck.
Slander. Slander.
Aloha, everybody from the YouTube channel. Welcome back to another podcast today. As you can see, we got a different group and we got Ruijin in here today. So it's going to be pretty fun. It's been a while since we had you here. Welcome back, man. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Hope you're doing good over there.
Hey, right?
Good to be back.
Good to have you back. Before we get started, I guess we got some big news, or does anybody have anything to share on, things going on?
Maybe a little bit.
Look at that smile
So
on
I
his
got my
face.
first LD.
Scroll.
and
Nice.
It is a.
Did you reset your account?
I feel like I had to, but no, it was a Laura. So.
Oh, right.
Oh!
I knew it.
You were right. You were right.
Laura, congrats.
You
Yeah,
did.
so I'm gonna get Thompson's team buff Laura 2020.
Oh
Wow.
my god. No,
Nerf Laura.
actually, I've been using Laura. Laura's really fun. She's
Yeah,
good.
but she needs a little buff, don't you think?
Do you have a Tyrannus?
Do not. I would like one.
It,
Or Leo.
it doesn't
or
even
Leona-
work
Leona
that
could be
well
nice.
with Tyrannies. It's not like you have a godlike combo if you have Laura Tyrannies. They do.
No, I'm
they
just
both
wondering
do
if he's
the
pulled
same.
his Tyrannus yet. I'm wondering if he's summoned the Tyrannus yet.
Oh,
I haven't talked to him in a couple weeks. So.
Have not. I've summoned a dupe Bellinus since, but I don't know. Darkbird could be interesting.
have you tried her on every different rune set there is, like that? Violent, Despair, and Swift.
It was just this morning at work, so I
Oh,
need Devilmon. I need to try it out, but
Oh wow! So haven't
Yeah.
so you're just it's just
Yeah, I'm a big-
arbitrary because you haven't really tried her yet.
no. I'm a baby to Lori abusing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I think we got some decent defense for you to put her on.
Sounds
Thank
good, man.
Yep,
Oof,
which is
can't
which
wait.
is actually what we're going to be talking about today. But like I said, hope you guys are doing great. Let's just dive into today's topic. Yeah, today's topic here to start off
I think
is
Thompson, I think you're echoing a tiny little bit.
Oh, you got a tiny echo. You want to adjust that real quick?
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, yeah.
All right, but yeah, today's topic as kind of like what we talked a little bit and brushed up a little bit on last week, right? We brushed up a little bit on Siege updates, and as you can see, I brought some players in that really do Siege and are into Siege. I mean, even Thompson. I mean, has you have defenses, so you have some things to talk about. But we've brought in members of Malicious here to kind of talk a little bit about Siege, their thoughts on the updates. I try to get some other members as well, like Loomis and stuff like that. But maybe in the future we'll get them and we can get a little bit more insight on it. So we're gonna focus today's topic so far to start off about what do you think about the new Siege update, since it's happening right now live, right? This is the first week of it. It's a season. There's rewards for it. What are your thoughts? What can we suggest for them so that they can tweak it and make it even maybe better towards the mid-season or even for the next season, right? Even though this one's just started. What are your thoughts on it
My
so far?
guildies tell me and Patrick that our guild will be a little bit stronger if we tried in Siege.
I mean, I've seen the new members you guys got. Also, am I low? I don't know.
You're really
No,
low,
no.
bro. I barely could hear you.
Oh, no, just adjust him, Thompson. Click on his face and then move
Oh, fine.
the user volume up.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, say something, right, Eugene?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll turn you up as well. Don't worry. You don't have to adjust too much.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed with the new members you guys got, especially Charles.
Oh.
is a fan.
Cool.
Dude, that Eyes guy has this really strong account too.
Nice.
So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this the Siege that's just starting off? The update that just happened, and are you guys excited for it? Is there anything that you're kind of like, man, I wish they did this instead for the season?
For me, honestly, I don't like the update. Only because no, I like it because, well, first I'll tell you what I like. I like that they're doing stuff with Siege, right? They're updating, they're giving rewards. The rewards could be a little better, but they're actually making changes. The one thing I don't like is how they implemented the tournament system.
Elaborate.
So like it's cool on one hand, but I remember you talked about last couple of people talked about it last podcast. Like you wish you'll be able to interact with it or at least watch it, right? Like at the RTA tournament at the end of the season, you could watch it on stream. It's I don't know how they're gonna try to. I don't even think they're implementing anything like that. But it's also like a 5-day event, which is terrible. Because okay, for it's a 5-day event for anyone below rank 2, 3. I don't remember the exact.
Top four.
Yeah, top 4. So and then only rank 2 and 1 is like they only need to fight 3 days. But you have to look at it from perspective of not just an average sieger or from someone like who's leading siege, who has to watch the map, who has to make sure someone needs to attack this, someone needs to do this and that. You're doing this 5 days in a row, and usually there's only like 1 or 2 people in charge of siege.
Right.
From like, but like we don't know how like the dynamic of other guilds do things, right? But looking at from malicious and I know especially from SSA, like JX does a lot of the what is it, the siege leading. It's actually like a really tough and really time constraint. It's time consuming.
Isn't it also like 30-minute towers now instead of 1 hour? So it's real bang, 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 right?
Yeah, I mean, but it's still a full day, right? It's still from 1 day to 1 day. Like in regular siege, it's a 2-day event. It's armistice if you don't freaking win the first day. But usually it's still the full 12 hours, and it's terrible because like for someone who has to lead siege, you have to watch the map, or have someone else watch it for you, and then be consistent in having people attack or doing this, or like make sure you're watching whatever other guild strategy is,
right?
What they're doing,
planning to like cut people off and stuff too, right?
They're doing it during like the middle of the week too, so like some people a lot of people have full-time jobs. Even if you're home for the corona thing right now, it's tough to be, because in this mode, if you miss a tower, it's all about like getting the towers as soon as they pop up. So any sort of delay is really punishing.
Yeah, that's true. Usually when you guys are trying to snipe exact towers for perfect timing, you have like 5 people ready to kind of go, right? 1 on each, and people are just like going in, finishing 1 attack, and you immediately capture that tower for the most part.
We also have different strategies where it's like if we have a tower that's staggered in terms of timing against another player, another team, or another guild, and you want to take that tower, but you want to extract as much time away from it as possible. So let's say one of our towers coming off cooldown in 5 minutes, but let's say, example, SSA tower is already off cooldown, and we're attacking it. We want to take it before our tower comes off cooldown, but with least amount of time, so we could drag out the amount. Let's say we already got in bonus, or we're cutting them off. It's like a dragging out type of situations. Like there's a lot of different dynamic strategies how like we do things, but it's always a dynamic thing. Nothing's ever the same. So watching it like 5 days in a row, it's really stressful. Doing it twice a week is really stressful.
So let me ask you this: like on average of like a normal siege, right? How long does it take for like people to kind of use all their swords? Like when people are actually attacking within that 12 hours, like how long does it usually take? Because now I'm trying to see how long that takes, because it's gonna be cut in half now. Because now, like I said, towers are only 30 minutes, and we know guilds only have a certain amount of attacks, right? When you're done with your attacks, you're pretty much done with siege, right? It's gonna be every 30 minutes now, and those towers are gonna pop up, and like you said, you want to be taking those towers pretty quickly. This might happen a lot quicker, or do you think it might not happen? It might not be that fast actually.
I don't think it's going to be that fast, because this is also like they changed it to a 1-on-1 setting for tournament, right? So it's not like a dynamic, like one team could actually team up with another. This is 1-on-1. This might change dynamic where you have to take towers and you're just constantly cutting each other. So we don't know. We don't know how it's gonna it's implemented. Maybe it is gonna be like the triangle formation, but you're just fighting a guild 1-on-1, and maybe there's like a third, like empty guild. Like, yeah. So like we don't know exactly how things are going to work, so I'm actually not too happy about it.
Right.
At the same time as I'm just going to be stressed out for like in the entire week thinking about it.
Would you have preferred, Ryu, it was like broken up into like over a longer period of time, like 2 weeks, or if they just reduced the number of rounds? Because top 20, I don't know about you, but I think like top 20 is a lot of people. I think they could have maybe even done like top 10, top 8, and still included like a lot of people. Like think about the people that have to do like 5 rounds of this. It's gonna be even more of a headache.
Or you could just split up your workload, man. You sound really stressed out.
They care about it. They care about the content. That's right.
No, I understand, but other people could do what he does too, and you can have like 3 or 4 people helping you out.
We do, and even then it's stressful.
It's still then stressful?
It's still 100% stressful, because now you have, it's like you could watch the workload, but then you also it's a lot tougher to make decisions when you have 3 or 4 people watching and they all have different views of what we should be doing. Let's say, like, a lot of times when we were fighting each other, during Siege, and we need to understand, like, oh, should we cut SSA, or how do we know what the third guild's going to do? And it's very dynamic. Like, nothing, we can't say, like, oh, we're going to have a set plan going into 2 hours down the line, and then all of a sudden the third guild decides, oh, we're going to switch on SSA and attack them. Maybe we have a chance to become first again. Now everything's going to be, and then someone else goes, no, 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 no. Even though if they attack SSA, they might come back and cut us again. So
Damn.
it's like, like every single time we make a decision, we always need to discuss. And it's like, we do come up, it works well for us, but in the end, it's still stressful because I have to worry about, what Sam thinks, or what, someone else says something, and it's like I have to think about it, and then it just stresses out. It's like, oh man, now my plan originally doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. I wonder if this dynamic of 1v1 though is going to make it a lot faster, or maybe a lot simpler, right? Because instead of having 3, it's a 1v1. Am I correct? So
yeah, that's what they said.
Right.
That's what they say on paper. But then, how does the map look? Like, remember how? Like, that's why you have to worry about what the whole siege system had to be changed. It just can't be dropped down to a 1v1 at tournament, because then it's like what everyone's used to is a 3-man. Now it's down to 2. How does the map look? Does the map look like a diamond? You know how like it's like you have a 5-row right at the very end. Yeah, it's like, is it still a triangle, and then the third guild is empty, and you're fighting for the empty? It's like we don't even know. That's what I'm like worried about.
I see. Yeah, that's true. And by the way, chat,
like,
I mean, this is why I brought them in, because this is the thought process of a guild that's heavily guild and guild siege, focused, right? This is what they think about when they're planning their attacks and go into battle.
Can I interrupt and ask a question?
Sure.
Because I know you guys are all in high tier guilds for siege. Like I don't do high tier siege because I don't care. The effort's too much. Do you think it would be a good thing or a bad thing to have rune removal for the entirety of this tournament? Like free rune removal. I think that would be awesome. I think it'd be hilarious to watch the shenanigans that go down. People are like taking stats for teams, and suddenly, bam, runes are changed on the next attack. I just think it would be such a shit show, and it would be so funny.
I think it'd be a little too chaotic if you do it like mid siege, but I don't see why not. Like before every single siege, they could just do an FRR. That seems like a pretty cool idea. So that way, like it's not so much of. It just seems too chaotic if you're having to think about people's runes being different every single time a tower pops up.
I like it. I like that idea.
Half the time.
Okay, so knowing that, do you think people will do it anyways?
Like
you can do that. You can change your runes mid siege, and it works. Yeah. Like every time your tower goes in, it locks it in, and then you can just change the runes again.
Yeah, I mean, with those ambiguous units like an Orion or any kind of booster, stripper like a Clara, you could have like some people that run like a Swift Clara, and then it goes to like a really fast Despair or Violent. So
yeah. Things like Martina Shina can change from Swift to Violent. They can go from damage to tank. You can change anything you want. There's so many variations.
That one's
gonna be wild.
I think
that one's good because it depends on like the with the Martina Shina. Some people like use either a wind tank or a light tank. So if like they change up the which one moves first.
The speed tuning.
Yeah.
Right, but like wouldn't it kind of affect offenses? Like it would kind of be so boring, right? I mean, I can just move my runes around, and now I got my best runes all the time on my best units. It's gonna be so easy for me to clear. Like
I mean, that's what I do.
Okay, so that's the downside. You're gonna have people that just have like a bunch of Draco or Lucian teams, and they just like pop the Swift set onto the next booster, and they have all their speed clears.
But I guess technically they'll do it anyways, right? If you really want to win this siege tournament, you're gonna do it anyways and pay like 300k. Like what's mana, right, to win this siege? That's true. That's so maybe that's not.
I honestly re-rune every single siege. I waste like 5 to 7 million mana every single siege.
Wow.
You get 30k back at the end, dude. It's payoff.
I mean, the last few sieges I haven't even been finishing my attacks because I have to let everyone else finish.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, do me a favor, Rujin. If you can just move your mic a little bit closer to your mouth, that's all. Yeah. If it gets a little bit closer to you.
You gotta mess up my hair.
Oh, much better.
Yeah. I think your mic. If it's closer to your mouth, it catches the sound a little bit easier. Your mic is like good because it like tries to keep away this other sound. So hopefully that's a little bit better. Can you tilt it? Can you twist it more towards your mouth? What happened?
I wonder if that's gonna be like a big thing, like people just constantly changing runes in the Siege tournament. I think they will, because like
Yeah.
there are tons of players who have like 200, and I say tons, it's a huge exaggeration, the hyperbolic nature of it, but like in these G3 guilds, in these top end Siege guilds, there are many players who have at minimum 200 million mana, and some of them have like upwards of 600 million, some of them have over 1 billion, some of them have like, I think Des had, well, when Des was in Malicious, Des had like 2.5 billion.
Yeah, Des has a lot.
Des is a bank, basically.
Yeah, the bank of Des.
The bank that can't
Yeah,
loan
yeah.
though.
Yeah, do you
I'm
guys remember back in the
hovering
day
around
when
13.
Corrosive hit the first 1 bill? Like that was revolutionary.
Yeah.
Roman
that was-
Fury hit 2 bill.
That was 3 years ago.
That's so crazy, dude. Actually, so crazy.
Roman hit
Kuro's
2
still playing
bill.
though, right?
Yeah, I think a couple weeks ago. That was like in March.
Crazy.
So, anything
Anyway.
else we can suggest to see changes maybe before this tournament happens, right? Because we can give these suggestions in for them to improve it so that they can make it a good piece of content. Because right now it's just a new season. I think we have until August until that tournament's going to be taking place. It's like a 3-month thing or something like that. So they have time. I think they're actually still trying to figure out what they want to do as well for this this tournament that they're going to be putting
What they
into
need
place.
to, no, sorry. What
Go
they
ahead.
need to do is change. Like I said, they need to change the whole Siege system in general. Like just regular Siege. Like right now, Monday, Thursdays, it's just a full day event. Why don't we just make it like half a day? And
So
yeah,
you're looking
try-
for like double the point gain, like just in general.
yeah, take out Armistice. It's like a 1 day event, 6 hours instead of 12 hours. Instead of like I have to be the entire time. I have to watch. No, I don't watch the entire time, but like just saying, it's still stressful watching many hours of the day and making sure. And like if people aren't online, you have to make sure they're online to attack. You know, like at least like with like 30 minutes towers. Like yeah, during the tournament it might be better, but still it's still a 12-hour day. So you could like your strategy. You could delay someone else and wait for someone else to bite, for the other guild to bite, and then cut them off and do stuff like strategies like that. So you're just wasting their time. Like you drag out the fight as opposed to like if you dump everything so early and then the other guild, you have no attacks, someone could just cut you off and you automatically lose. That's how the game works right now.
Do you think it would
So
also help if they added like more tools? Like I know that the 5 siege markers is pretty cool. Like I didn't think that they would ever add more, adjustments to like markers to help the siege leads. Do you think if they added something like, you can get notifications to either yourself or like the guild when towers, set a reminder when like the tower is like 10 minutes from like being rebuilt, extra in-game things to kind of help, give either like a push notification to you or the people in the guild?
I think that might only apply to like 10% of the Summoners War Siege players, right?
I think what they should
And
do
then
is
the
that
Summoners or Siege players are like 5% or less of all
Yeah.
players.
I think the top siege guilds, I think Contour should sponsor them and send them all anklets so that when the guild leaders needs them, they can just click the
Shock
button
them.
and it would shock them so they know
Shock-
like,
shock
hey, get the
value.
fuck online and
Oh.
like do your siege battle. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I think that's a really good idea. Yeah, they could be like Summoners War branded anklets and stuff.
Oh, guild
Like,
guild
yeah.
branded shock bracelets. I think it's perfect. Summoners War brought to you
Hey,
by
you
Taser
know,
Crew.
I joke about
Trying
it,
to walk
but
out the house and then you get
We'll
shot
just get
at?
Elon. We'll get Elon Musk to sponsor us some Taser bracelets. It'll be fine.
oh, dude, it sounds funny, right? But I bet you all the guild leaders out there are like, yes,
Yes.
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 Anyways, any other suggestions before we get into like more of like siege discussion, actual like siege units and discussion? Anything in the actual context of siege that we can?
better rewards.
Yeah,
for sure.
rewards. I was about to say.
Okay.
What's wrong with transmogs? They're kind of cool.
I mean,
no?
the transform are
this-
cool, but
Oh,
we don't know
sorry.
what it looks like.
Wait,
I
better
mean,
better transmogs. I mean, better rewards
The
for the
transmog
tournament
effects.
or better rewards for the siege, like normal siege, or both.
I think for the
Oh,
tournament.
Okay.
Yeah, both.
And what you want to see?
Start with this. All right, start with the siege box for normal siege. Can we just like improve that,
Oh.
please, finally? And also just more, either like a buff to guild points or like more things to spend guild points on, like immemorials, for example. I think we've talked about it before, but it'd be nice if there was something in addition in the guild shop or the Nat 4 skill ups.
Can we just buy an immemorial once a week? A random purple or better immemorial once a week for like, I don't know, 1,000 or 1,500 points.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that idea about the siege
It's
box.
very
though.
reasonable.
It's pretty bad right now. That's why the siege box is.
Mhm.
So like, if they were to improve it, that would. I mean, I don't know how much it would stop people from farming. Farming guilds because we want those to kind of stop, right? But if they made those boxes more valuable, especially if you're hitting like the G3 guild and you're in a G3 guild, then it would give some incentive for those top players to maybe potentially stop farming, because you're going to be getting like an immemorial like twice a week, right? Even if it's just a potential chance at legends, it's much more viable than trying to farm. So
Or
Yeah,
re-app.
if you want it to be, if you want it to be
Stop
for the whole
farming.
community, just do the different grade for like depending on G1 gets like rare and above, G2 is like hero and above, or hero and above,
Mhm.
and then G3 is I don't know, is guaranteed legend 2 OP per siege? I guess it is. At least
No.
like I
Hell
don't
no.
know. Okay,
us
okay,
guaranteed
so
legends.
then legend and above. There we go, legend.
Give us re-apps too.
No.
All that work. Come on.
Stop it, Billy. Stop it.
Reapps are gotta be a little bit more. Reapps are gotta be a little bit more frugal on. But there is one area of the game I think reapps would be kind of nice. Maybe like, what do you think? 1 a month from like TOA hard. You know what I mean? Like I know they
be
should
nice.
do a revamp on maybe like 2 stones or something else for TOA hard, like just a little more. But
Yeah.
if they give one
I like
reapp, that doesn't break the game, right? And I think it would be incentivize people to do TOA hard, and it's kind of nice. I don't know. That's a little bit sidetracked though.
Like 1 re-app, right?
Right. A month, right? 1 a
You
month.
beat like level 80, you get 1 re-app or something like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
what is it? 5 re-apps equal 1 legend, 1 LD scroll anyway. Tech monetary wise, if you want to look at the packs.
It's true.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they could swap out the LD from TOA hard and
Yeah.
put in a
No,
reapp.
No. You move the LD to a
Yeah.
different spot, and then
Yeah.
you put the re-app on 90.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
You don't take away. Okay, just because you guys have LDs, including Andrew now,
You guys.
does not mean that you can take away my opportunity to get an LD
Yeah.
to get an LD at F5. Okay.
Who the fuck needs 50 energy? Stage 10. Change it right now. Put a reapp in there. What are you, 50 energy?
We've slowly gone back to the podcast where I'm the only person with no LD in F5.
Whoa.
Sorry, Tyler.
Invictus.
I had to join him.
You left me here. I'm sad.
Laura.
I'm sorry.
First you join malicious, you leave all the siege farming, and now you pull an LD in F5. It's like
Hey,
I
man,
don't
at
even know
least
you
it
anymore,
wasn't.
Andrew.
At least it wasn't like Okay, come on. At least it wasn't like SSS tier. It was just
True.
your average.
But I
LD.
want you to pull an SSS here, man. Like if you pull your
Me too,
first LD in
me too.
F5, I want it to be
Me
good.
too.
You know, like I want you to pull like a
yourself to
Gianna
pull
or something.
SSS, or you want Tyler
Dude,
to pull SSS?
I'm saying buff Laura to bomb. Strip bomb. There you go.
Oh,
Hey, that's actually an interesting.
strip into bomb.
That's actually an interesting
Yeah.
comment.
Oh, that's actually not a bad
That's
idea.
wild. That's you're too crazy. You're too
Okay.
crazy, Andrew. You're getting out of
Okay.
control.
Okay, can we do like? All right, we'll talk about Laura later.
Yeah. So what I wanted to ask was, I apologize. I missed last week's podcast when you guys talked about siege stuff. I caught a little bit of the siege stuff you talked about,
Mhm.
but I was wondering, if I recall correctly from the rules, the siege guilds that participate, you have to have created that guild for at least a month or something. So what's to stop all of the siege farming people from just like joining all together in a guild that's like already at like high G1 and just like finishing top 20?
Oh, I know what you mean. There's actually.
Because we talked about
yeah,
we talked
yeah.
about that on my stream. I was like, we could totally just do this. It would be no effort.
I
Wait.
bet that's actually probably being talked about. To be
There-
Or,
honest.
or the
actually,
G2
like-
guilds that are like trying to poach all the siege players. Like, hey, you should come to our guild to get into the siege tournament.
There's actually still like what 5, 6 guilds that were broken up but still alive, and it's still on the siege ranks. I don't know if it's on the siege ranks now, but by last season, what it was, Apocalypse was still there.
Mm.
My old guild.
Serenity.
Red Comet's still there. They broken up. What
Serenity.
else? Oh, sorry.
Because all you need to is
There's
for
a lot
the
of guilds that are
guild to
like
be
this, but,
available,
like-
right? The guild just has to be there for a month, or has to be created a month ago to participate. That's it, right?
Isn't it Serenity?
Okay, but theoretically, if you actually count out the amount of points you would need to get into the top 20, you would need to be at like mid G2. So that guild would have to actually be active. Either they would have to give up the guild space for people who can push into the top 20, or they would have to recruit people from there. So like we already kind of mapped it out in terms of like what it is. So my question is, what stops anyone from just doing that? Like siege farming is way better. The rewards are like 10 realistically like 6 to 7 times better than actually doing siege. It's way less work. It's basically no work. And we can also benefit from the top tier siege season. So like I don't know. If you ask me, like I'm just gonna siege farm because it doesn't take any effort, right? I don't have to sit here and do siege for 12 hours a day like you guys do. Right?
But
So
that's not-
like what in this system could be added that would be good for both sides that would deter people from just abusing it as hard as they can like this?
I'm not too sure. I didn't even think about that aspect till you even mentioned it. Because
Well, I mean, that's why I'm bringing it up, because it's something that's important. They should address that this is an issue, right? The issue is that it's just better to be in a lower rank forever until like, and then they set this like this arbitrary 1 month limit. They're like, maybe this will stop people from siege farming. Why would it? Right?
1 month limit for this tournament. Sorry, I'm
So
still trying
you
to
have to
understanding
have
what you're saying.
created the guild
Okay.
a month before the end of the season.
Okay.
Right. So let's say me and a whole bunch of siege farmers decide we're gonna make a guild. We make it 5 weeks before the end of the season. Right? That means we have 10 sieges to climb. If we already have a guild that's in like max or high G1 or like in G2 and we win almost every siege, I think we can lose 1 or 2 if we're still within 17k points. We will get top 20 and we will be in the tournament.
Wait, you'll still get top 20?
Yes.
So what
that's
about
what I'm saying.
What about
That's
the
why
other
I'm saying this
guilds? I guess
ridiculous.
is it because the other guilds are fighting each other, so they're just gonna hover around a certain amount of points or something? Or
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Exactly.
That's a
I mean,
previous thing though. There's they changed the way like rank second and rank third siege works, so you're actually getting points instead of getting negative points. So it actually might boost. It actually might be harder to climb.
yeah, so I don't know
But,
if you
I
guys
don't
can
know.
hit it, right? If because second will still get points, then how can you catch up? Right. So if there might be a point thing, but I see what you're still saying, right? There's a certain extent you can just get into a guild that's already been pre-made and just push up.
Yeah, or just join one of the dead guilds that are still top 10.
exactly.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like if you have a guild that's in the like G2 rank, like if you make a guild from scratch, there's literally no way you're gonna get that far up, right? But if you join a guild that's like G2, you will very easily get that rank. Very, very, very easily get that rank.
Interesting. Maybe they got to go back and check that out. Then that's something.
I'll
That's
see
something
in
for them
top
to look
20.
at.
Okay, so as the
Tyler.
players from like the top, okay, I appreciate that. As the players from the top guilds leave to siege farm, everyone who's like below them moves up, right? Like all the G1 rank siege guilds will slowly move up towards G2. So what happens is if these people go back to a G2 guild, they are going to slaughter every single person on the way because they're already stronger than them, right?
Yeah, there's a big disparity, like what Tyler said, between like lower G3s to the G2s, and then the people who are farming, and then those people who've already experienced G3, siege, that are in farming guilds, they form together. They're gonna be they're already gonna be definitely top 20, and I know that for sure.
Exactly. So like even if you took someone like our rune quality, Brian, like you and I would say like we're like a notable step below these guys, right? We don't have the same depth and the same quality.
True.
But like even if you just took like 25 of us, we would easily be in the top 20. Especially if we started
But-
already at a high rank.
So what
Right.
about just lowering the pool? Like lowering the amount of guilds in this tournament.
I think that'd be
that
great.
matters.
But
Just you go to like top 10.
on one side it's great for like that competitive nature, but it's worse because you're removing rewards for more people.
Yeah, that's true. as well.
I think that I don't know. The way I see it is that you have the difference between like top 10 and top 20 guilds is already like a lot, right? So
Not even. It's like top 3, and then
yeah, it
top
goes like
4 to top
yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my point is, how do we continue to keep this at a very fair and competitive level, but also not take away rewards from more players? That's what I'm trying to get at, right? Like at the end of the day, I don't really care. I don't even know if I'm going to do this, but my point is, we can theory craft that it's possible, and the rewards are actually pretty good from it. So what does that stop players who just want to maximize rewards from getting it, right?
Can they just make the amount of time that the guild, like that a player is in the guild, that will be counted, be longer or something like that? I don't know. The player. Of the
I mean, do
guild
you really
needs-
think the rewards are that much of an incentive to join though? Because it's only what I don't know what the
Cosmetic.
crystal difference is, but it's not too many extra crystals you're getting for
1
you know,
month
you should think.
difference, it'll make up for the difference, yes. So you get like what, 300 max crystals per siege in G1, I think, and 800 GP. So if you get what are the ranking rewards? 3,000, 2,000, 1,500 for second, third.
No, first is
I have
like
no
only
idea.
1,000.
It's only 1,000.
1,000 for everyone.
1,000 crystals.
I think in terms of the crystals, it's probably not as worth it, but a lot of people will do it because they want like
The
the transmogs and the entrance stuff, and you know.
I mean, they could do a little better on the transmog too, to be honest. Like, that's only for siege.
I
defenses,
don't
things?
know. They didn't say it. It's like you're talking about the entrance thing, right? Or are you talking about the background? There's two. There's
The entrance one, the one that
think
just
the
The
entrance
entrance
thing-
ones are the rewards. The backgrounds, I think, are from finishing a certain rank of Siege.
Yeah, and
the
finishing a certain range, you will actually get it stripped from you the next season once whoever wins the next season.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't really like that.
Yeah,
and-
Trey has a good question too. He said during the Siege tournament, after every battle, are there rewards? Because if there are, that actually pays out really well.
Oh,
Right,
true,
that's-
because you get a
that's
whole
lot
week.
of extra
Oh,
sieges.
They have
do.
to.
Yeah, they
that's a
have
lot
to.
of extra
Like
siege.
you do a whole siege without rewards. That's crazy. They
Wait,
will.
that's actually a big incentive then to be a part of a top guild is to be able to have 5 days or however many days of siege in a row. Actually, I mean, it kind of sucks if you're trying to win, but that's a lot of rewards, right? In 1 week, that's like a couple $100. That's a couple $100 worth of crystal potentially in just a couple days of just playing the game, right? If it's equivalent.
Well, it also comes down to this. If it actually is a 1v1 setting where it's just like, let's say, a diamond shape, and it's just like the 5 first towers, if that's the case, you're just actually just cutting each other off nonstop instead of actually gaining points. If you think about like the dynamic of how that map works, like you're looking at the right now the current dynamic, which is a triangle.
Right.
You could fight not a shitty guild, but like a lesser guild, and you could go around and maybe cut the second guild that way. But right now, if it's just a 1-on-1 setting, and it's diamond, just each tower touching each other, you're just cutting each other off.
You know
like,
what I
every
think it
wave.
is? It's gonna be based upon your success on your attacks too, because don't you get points for successfully defeating a defense and successfully having a defense success, right? I think that is what's gonna make or break your win. It might lean more towards that potentially as well, right? Maintaining points to stay above a certain threshold to continually obtain have those points tick, as well as defense success and attack success on killing them, right? Might get more boosted points from those. So you want to make sure that when people attack, they're attacking fast, you're taking towers quickly, and you're not failing, because every sword will probably
There's definitely
count.
not as much
I don't
strategy
know.
involved in the 1v1 setup, right?
Yeah, not
There's
definitely
not
not.
that strategy.
Yeah.
It's mostly just win rate. Like
Big win rate thing, yeah.
if you have
And-
really
and
high win
timing.
rate, you'll do well.
And
Yeah.
timing,
Oh, and time.
like how fast you can take.
But then it goes back to me saying how, like, with towers are getting cut off, if each round gives you reward, and you're just constantly cutting each other off, you're not actually moving that bar that reaches the max to gain the GP or to gain the crystals. If they're doing the same setup.
Yo, I saw something interesting in chat. I was thinking about it. What if they made it? I mean, this is just a little bit of tangent, slightly, but what if they made it so when you win or you lose, depending on how many units are left, is how much damage or how much like points you gain? You know, that would be very interesting, right? Going into an attack, and if you have 3 units, then you get max points. If you only have 2 units, then you only get a certain amount of points. That would be very interesting as well.
What
Something
I
like
want
that.
for the siege tournament, I want it so when a defense dies, it's dead.
Oh, we can't use it again. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
That would be really, really good for a siege tournament because I think it would be super competitive at that point.
Wait, what would stop them from just deleting that defense and then re-adding it so it's
You can't delete or modify defenses mid siege.
Yeah, you can.
You can't change like they would have to make it so you literally can't change like once your siege defenses are locked in, you can't change them during the war.
If
But
you
then-
lock into a tower, but you could change stuff that's not put in. That's outside already.
No, I mean like once you've set your 10 defenses or whatever in
Oh,
your
okay,
bracket
yeah.
pool, like those cannot be changed.
But
That'd
also,
be cool.
like Tyler, what if they just like make dupe Bastets and dupe, Odins, right? And dupe.
I mean, they could do that. I mean, they
Yeah.
still
But you
make the
can't
commitment to
change
it,
your
right?
10, right? Is what Tyler's saying. You have those 10. You lock
Well,
in
if
your
you want
10.
to put that defense back up, you could just take that rune, make a dupe team, and then put those runes on.
No,
the
but you can't.
You can't add a new team. You can't add a
new
new
team.
team. That team
No,
is
you
locked.
put
They'd
the
have to
team
do it-
there,
they'd
but
have to do
then
it
you don't
beforehand,
put the
basically.
defense
No,
up. You just put
but the
rune up.
runes are locked in once you
Oh,
start
locked in
siege. Yeah,
runes.
you lock
Okay.
everything in.
Oh, I don't really
100%.
like
I
that.
think
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting because then it would test like guild's depth more than just
Yeah.
like who has the
You-
best sets on the best comps.
You know what would be super cool? Like just like a 12-hour like free for all, top 10 guilds fight in like a not 3 guilds, just
Like,
top
like,
10.
like an octagon.
Yeah,
like
like
Octagon,
a
Octagon, yeah.
What is that Chinese game?
whoever has the most points at the end like wins the whole thing. Summoners War players gets to watch the whole time. It's like a 12-hour stream.
Yeah, it's
That
like
would be
they drop into an alternate reality, and then they like
I think
pick
you
up
have Chinese
weapons, and then
checkers.
they attack each other, and then the last one
not
standing.
into alternate
wins,
reality.
right?
Just Summoners
I
It's
War.
a Summoners
I
War
know
BR. Summoners War Battle Royale. Ah!
Could you imagine
Ah!
the collusion? It would
I
go like
see.
7 or 6 guilds ganging up on one, and it just go like
Yo,
around and around,
a lot
like
of
5
games
on
are like
1.
that, man. A lot of games are built that
Oh.
way, where there's like 12
Man.
teams and you guys all fight. You know,
Imagine
Yo,
12
that
teams,
would
and
be
it's like
so so hilarious.
It's like 6 guilds of malicious. Like they made sister guilds or some shit, and they
Yeah,
only
so
attack each
basically-
other.
Basically, I would
Oh,
only want
God.
this for like the tournament specifically,
For
only
tournament, yeah.
because it makes it more strategic. I think, because like if you're doing the 1v1s, like
Yeah.
there's way less strategy than there is.
I
in,
think
like,
it'll be
like
fun
a
for
three-way
people to
siege, right?
watch, and Ryujin won't have to be so stressed out for 5 days in a row.
I agree. No, honestly, I love that idea. Chinese checkers, 10 guilds,
Exactly. Chinese
yeah,
checkers,
yeah.
yeah.
like hopping on top of each other with different colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
A
yeah.
rainbow.
So no, but the difference now is that instead of how Siege you already own the towers, it starts off with you with your base, and you need to start capturing towers and try to like get to the middle where there's like a big tower, and as you're capturing, you're putting in defenses,
hill.
right? That's what you're saying,
Like
right?
castle defense. That's kind of
Ah,
cool too.
yeah. Different concept, yeah. Okay.
Yo,
Siege just become king of the hill.
Yeah.
And in the middle has like 20 defenses you could dump in. You have to beat all 20 to actually take it. Oh, that's I like it.
So another thing someone mentioned in chat was like, what about after like all the servers are done, like the top guild from each server fights each other?
Oh, the main server, right? So
That's
EU,
cool.
Asia, and global, and they put the tops in there. Oh,
Yeah, 3-way siege between Europe, Asia, global. That would be sick.
Dang, dude.
Aren't there more? Isn't there like China too or whatever? Oh, Asia. Okay.
There's China
Global.
server, Korea server, and Japan server.
Korea. Yeah.
I think it's
so
those
that-
3.
that's-
You can have those 3 fight, and then the winners of both
Oh,
of
okay.
both sides can fight each other.
Yeah, there's
I mean-
more servers than that.
I mean, but what I hate about the current siege system is you can't stop 2v1s, and I don't like the fact that we get 2v1 a lot, man.
But I
It's so
mean,
stressful.
I know.
we've talked to
It should just be
come to us.
made like 1-on-1, or it should just
But I
if
mean,
there's 3 players, someone's gonna get 3 on 2-on-1, right? That's
right.
why you could RTA. It's just 1-on-1.
But we have talked to Comp to us about that. Like, what do you think about the ganging up? And they said that that's a part of war, right? You have friends, you have allies, you have enemies. That's a part of war. So I mean, it's annoying, but it's the reality-ish of what war is technically as well, right? In war, what war is you could have people alliance together and kill somebody else because they don't want you to win, right?
You
That's
know,
a part of
even
it.
Arena you could get ganged up too, right?
What's that?
Even in Arena you could get ganged up too.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
only content you don't get ganged up on is like RTA, I guess.
And
Do you
Guild
think
War.
you can No,
Huh?
sorry. I was saying, do you think you can like add another layer to like the way points work to kind of disincentivize only attacking one guild? So like if you were to attack 2 guilds, you get like an extra bonus for having towers from 2 teams instead of just one.
Oh, that's
I don't know the
little bit.
logistics.
Oh,
how it
that's
works,
not-
but
The thing is, if it's an odd number, then there's always going to be a gang. Like,
Yeah, I'm
there's-
saying
you're always going to get
agree,
ganged up if it's an odd number. So they have to make it even number, like 4v4, like
No, no, you don't-
2v2.
No, what
You don't
Andrew's
need to do
saying
that.
is it incentivizes a guild to attack 2 sides. So if you're just only hitting one side and you're getting their towers, you only gain a
You
specific
can
amount of
easily
points.
get ganged up on. Then the person will lose to your defense on purpose and beat the other person's defense on purpose.
But
right?
now it's a little bit
No,
harder
but
because
what I
you
mean
have
is, like,
to.
you change the way that the points work, so that way, like if you have towers from 2 different guilds,
You
get
gain like
a bonus.
quadruple, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
extra bonus. Like that's what he's saying. Like if I take a red tower and a yellow tower, and those two combines maybe quadruple your points gain as opposed to just hitting one person, because that de-incentivize. Wow, shit, I can't
Incentivize.
Yeah, incentivize. You got it.
just focusing on one guild.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you gotta have like an even amount of players to make it like so you don't get ganged up on, right? If it's odd,
And what
Yeah,
about
I
it's a
agree.
what about 3v1?
Oh,
3v1.
You could
Like
get
if you have a
3v1.
2v2, you get
Or what
3v1.
if like
3v1?
you get set up with a team? Like it's like Guild War, but you get set up with a team.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
I mean, I
But
think
then you
these are
have
some
the
really good
issue of-
ideas. I like this.
Then you have the issue of like what if you get like I guess it would depend on how the matchmaking works with how your teammate is determined. Because what if you get like a weak guild as your teammate, and then you have 2 like other top guilds? You don't really stand a chance.
Well, at least during the Siege Legend, I think Comtos already knows that. That's why for fighting for Siege Legend, it's 1-on-1. So there's no ganging up or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because people could just be like, "Yo, screw malicious, man. Let's just gang up on them and make sure that they cannot win the siege thing, right?" So that's why it's 1v1. I guess that's
So
true.
don't worry.
That goes back to the top guild of every server, and then matching them up, and then they could be like, oh well, we'll never want global to ever win anything, so Asia and Europe would just always hang out. Yeah, I mean that could happen.
Oh,
True.
Global never wins anything out.
Yeah.
Until now. Until now.
Global never wins.
You literally
anything.
just ripped that man's heart open and threw it on the floor, Billy. By
Oh,
saying
that was not even on purpose. I was just
I
thinking.
know,
like,
I know.
I know,
It's okay. It's very tangible to my heart.
he didn't even try to hurt you. He just did it anyway.
I know. Oops.
I'm sorry, Thompson.
No, it's okay, man. Global never wins anything. I got it.
What if middle tower? Let's go back to this idea of like there's a middle
I tried.
tower in the middle of the map, and it's
Okay.
got like 10 defenses in it, and you try and like over. The whole thing is like you try and keep control of like the middle tower the entire time, if you can, for like the extra points. But it's a lot harder to take it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I say 20 defense. Just pump
20
all your
defense, good.
defense,
Yeah.
and just watch people just fail on top of it. That'll be great. Oh, you know how like your 10 defenses, your 10 defense ones, it says like, oh, packed full of defeated enemies. They need to add more, like 15,
Like 20.
20. It's fun seeing your defense win, and it
Yeah.
just stops at 10.
They should definitely give extra rewards for those things that get highlighted when you get 5 in
Yeah.
a row and you win 10 in a row. I think there should be slight point rewards for that you gain for your guild with that. So it's more of an incentive to try to get that more than just flexing, right? Because obviously flexing is always nice, right? Like you said, the defense success is cool, but if they add points on those as well, that'd be kind of nice, like a small monetary amount. It'd be interesting. Really make guilds try to think about that as well, right? To not allow that to happen.
Yeah, or like one person. Usually, the people that give those defense successes are the same person that just tilt and just nonstop lose to it. That's the only time that it really happens. You see like 3, 4, one person just gets tilted, and they just throw whatever. Oh, I have to beat this, and they just toss like
Yep.
really mediocre offenses against it, and that's how it just racks up. It stops them from doing that. So like, oh, I'm actually gonna cause my guild to lose because I keep being shit.
True. All right, let's speaking of that on offenses and defenses, let's move on to the second topic here. We gave some good suggestions. I think we want to continue elaborating on this because we got a couple months until this thing happens, so we can kind of bridge off of these and get some good ideas, and hopefully that it's going to be an entertaining and good tournament for everybody to enjoy and play in for this first season of Siege, right? It's their test, I guess. Topic number 2 is, what are some of the most common Siege defenses that you're seeing? What are the ones that work really well? What's the ones that we see a lot? And how do we beat some of these?
I do want to talk about this. I think like in Guild War and Siege, it's a little bit stale on speed leads. Or am I the only one that thinks that?
No, I
think
agree.
if there's more like a more option of speed leads, the combination of guild defenses will expand.
Rai's gonna say something about Gelmir.
Oh, okay. What's
But
up?
yeah, I mean, I use Gelnir. In Guild
Gilnir is a speed lead,
Yeah.
right? In Siege.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But he's literally useless. He's a speed lead and fight runes. Speed lead, fight runes.
Yeah.
His entire kit is just nothing besides that.
But what do you guys think? Like, I think like there's just a few good ones like Kamoon, Galleon, Sierra, and then like you just kind of build your defense around like this few speed leads. Mimir, right?
Yeah,
I-
because
I
there's no
missed the
guild.
beginning of
There's
what you
no
guys were
guild war.
saying.
Oh, sorry. There's no guild
I-
war speed lead units, right?
Yeah.
So
Besides, besides the 2 LD Nat 5s, like you have in every other content, like like Nat 4s, for example, like Azaria, she's an arena speed lead.
I mean,
Or
you have
Shimate.
things like Galleon, right?
You have Galleon, you have Amir, you have Kamoon. There's a couple.
Yeah.
Okay, true.
But
Yeah.
just
But I
not
mean,
the
like,
33.
for
That's
Nat
what
5
it is,
towers.
Yeah.
So what
But I
kind of
think
yeah.
like Siege defenses are just circulated around like a speed lead and then 2 other units, like maybe a stripper or a booster and then like a threat, right? That's the meta right now. Or
Yeah, that's only like came in since what, like starting this year, end of last year. The speed meta really like shifted. It went from
Claire
a
got
lot of
this.
a lot of bruiser defenses to straight up
I mean,
speed and swift.
could it also
Yeah.
be because of the implication of people having their own runes for RTA separated from the rest of the their
Yeah,
account now?
that's
right?
basically it. That's basically it.
That opens up for them to put some of their better runes onto their units for defense and whatnot to make their guild stronger. So
and I
what
do
kind of
think the speed meta has always kind of been in there,
Mhm.
ever since like the Shina Martina defenses were still a thing,
Right. So what kind of defenses are we seeing the most? Like, can we name some of the common ones to give some players some suggestions, right? Even mid-game players and whatnot, what they can potentially build from what they have on there. Because that's a question that comes up a lot. Hey,
Yeah.
what can I build for defense? Like, what are you seeing a lot?
Galleon, Clara, and something is literally like
And something
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
like because
Savannah,
it's straight up.
Yen, and Lucas, I think, are the three
Yeah,
that I see the
Savannah, Yen,
most.
and
Miho,
Lucas
how
with the
about Miho?
Galleon Clara.
Miho's not bad either, but you need Violent Miho to do it. You need a Violent Miho.
Ryan and the Miho is
Miho is just Orion. It's just Orion and Miho. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the RNG aspect of it, but it's honestly a really easy defense to beat. It's just Orion is the thing that kills everyone
Double shield will. Most of the time, you should be okay, right?
most of the time, but you still lose to RNG if Orion gets the right strip, right defense
Yeah.
break, or right stun.
Right.
It's still 1 out of 6 chance you lose, or
Right.
or less, slightly less, but
Accuracy
Matt
check too, technically, but
Yeah.
Is it's a chance. So Galleon, Clara, right? Strip, defense break, and then some sort of damage. Now, how do you counter these? Obviously, it's a good defense. It's used quite a bit. What do you use to counter it, to go against it?
Depends on what the +1 is.
All right, let's talk about Yen then, since that's probably gonna be the most versatile, since it's the most common.
Give me
Lucian. I Lucian
Yeah.
everything.
And how you Lucian it? Are you saying you outspeeding?
Yeah, I straight up outspeed it.
Okay, so
I straight up
outspeeding
outspeed it.
obviously is an option.
Well, for me, I use Dova. So
Dova's the way to go.
Dova speedy Lucian, and then if you know, like some of us know, like some Clars are actually really slow. You could just use Tion or Kona, and that straight up outspeeds because you have the better speed runes, swift runes, as opposed to the defense. But Lucian has to be the part that's the key player because he needs to do enough damage.
Right, and most of the times they're
So-
kind of squishy anyways, so you're gonna Lucian them pretty easily with any standard Lucian, to be honest. They're not gonna have
Yeah,
the
you
tough
know,
ones.
It also
you
depends
do
on what
either-
level you're playing at too, because like every like level of siege, there's like a huge difference between like what those units are gonna look like in terms of stats.
But
like,
it's kind of
I can-
respective to your runes too, right? The speeds and their quality should be relatively similar to yours to a certain extent.
Mhm.
So these
Well,
suggestions should technically work. Right,
Also,
should
like
work.
the difference between me Lucian is because well, to answer one of the chats, I have 3 Dovas, so it's easy for me.
Oh.
Where to
Ah.
buy Dova? Give me one.
Honestly,
Please.
I've got a Dova
Dova
too.
is like Dova is like the best Guild War unit.
Dova's the
next-
only reason I can do arena.
Yeah, he's so good. What about options for non outspeeding then? Because that's gonna be actually the majority of the players that are trying to figure it out because they can't outspeed it, right? They can't
If
keep up with the
it's-
speed.
A lot of
LTBs.
people think. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd turn to it. If it's Yen specifically, a lot of the time I'll use like Garo, Rakuni, and then either like Molly, or I'll use
Molly.
yeah, I like using the Molly for the glancing. But also
You know-
because she cleanses, so my Molly moves first, and then my Rakuni moves before my Garo as well. So no matter what, Garo will always be cleansed, even if I get triple stunned.
Also tractors, like tank tractor, not a damage tractor.
Oh, Tractor! I didn't think about that because that thing can't be
Tractor
defense
is
broken,
good.
right? And he does good damage.
Yeah.
And he gains
Vampire,
attack bar when
vampire,
you crit
vampire
him.
build to heal, or no need vampire, just any
You
kind
can
of.
do, I
stat.
mean, you can do vampire, but like, don't do crit damage. Just do like defense, HP defense, or something like that.
Okay.
But
Oh.
definitely don't. I mean, Rena's not too consistent. Like Rena can still be destroyed by a Yen. Like if
One extra
Galleon
turn.
lands if Galleon lands the defense break, she just needs basically 1 proc to kill Rena.
Yeah, that's true. What about So it's like you said, double fire or triple fire, no, double fire, and then some kind of other tanky
I
support.
use a light unit, yeah.
Light unit, okay, interesting. So it's
I
gonna
mean,
attack the
I
light
could
unit
use a
then.
water unit, but like the Molly is nicer for me because the glancing chance and then also the cleanse. So I just make my Molly move first with 100 resist.
Nice Molly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have 2 Mollys actually.
Oh,
As
great.
for the Miho defenses, the Kamoon Orion Miho defenses, like it's one of the easiest ones. You just bring a Skogul, Elucia, and Harmonia. Like honestly, just 3 supports that can't get 1 shot.
Yep.
Like even if you have defense, like you have enough. Well, for most
Bombers,
people,
too.
they should. Yeah, bombers work too. Bombers.
Malaka's so good. Turn 2 Malaka
Yeah.
into that is so good.
That's when it pays to have like 5 Trianas because
What's-
you can do like a Fran, but
5
I mean,
Triana.
Triana,
Yeah.
You don't even need her to be
makes it
skilled. She
No,
doesn't even
what's
need to have
just-
skill ups. She
what-
just needs to exist.
What's the
she's
defense?
just
again?
there so you don't get killed turn 1.
What's the defense you said originally? Yet? Sorry, I missed it.
It's Kamoon Orion Miho.
Oh,
Like
okay, okay.
it's
That was
it's
it.
really common, but it's just straight up. RNG screws a lot of people. But if you have a really good Skogul, you have a really good Elucia, you have a really good Harmonia. Harmonia and Raccoonias are interchangeable. The whole point is there's just have cleanse, right? Elucia CCs for 2 turns, and then you just wait for Kamoon to just keep bashing on a Skogul and keeps giving it cooldowns for his to throw the rock, and eventually you just beat it.
Okay.
You guys want to know how I met Ryujin? It was in
that?
SWC. It was in SWC 2018,
Yeah,
and then
18.
we were sitting outside, and I never talked to the dude, and he's like, "Yo, what's up, man? I'm Ryujin," and I'm like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And he's like, "So, your Artemill defense sucks." I'm like, "Huh?" Well, this is what we work with, and Artemill needs this much HP, and you should use him with this monster. Do you have that monster? I'm like, "Oh, okay, nice to meet you, Ryujin. All right." That's the very first time I talked to Ryujin. It was outdoors. I think
Was
you
he,
remember.
was he right though?
Oh no, he's absolutely right. Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
it's like so he.
That's
he's
so
going
funny,
through
though.
Guild War and Siege.
That was slightly off. You know, I did some small talk with you before we went into that,
Oh, okay.
and we took some pictures. I put my leg on top of yours. I remember that.
Okay, all right.
Oh
all right.
man, can I see these
Whoa.
pictures? Or are these pictures on your
Ryujin
OnlyFans
knows
only?
his stuff, man.
A better
Ryujin,
love story than
he
Twilight.
just
I
loves
know.
Siege. Yeah. So you malicious. You guys are lucky, man. Ryujin has a passion for this Siege and guild stuff.
Yes, he does.
All right,
I
let's.
led Apocalypse for so long. That was stressful. Oh boy.
Huh?
What's that?
When I was leading Apocalypse, the second guild before
Yeah.
Malicious. Yeah, that was stressful.
Stressful
Ryu
because you
accepted
Yeah, I
care.
remember that.
was,
You're like, "Hi, I'm
baby.
Ryujin. I'm Apocalypse's guild leader." I remember that. Yeah.
Ryu accepted me there when I was a noob. I was just a little baby Ryu. Like that's like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, you weren't even top 20 RTA.
I
It
also
wasn't even
remember
GP
one
RTA
thing
yet.
about Ryujin the
Wait,
most.
not even
He
top
had
20
the-
RTAs? Don't even speak, sir. You
I'm
were
telling
not.
you this, Ryujin, like we all take turns walking up on stage, right? Ryujin had the most swagger walking up on the stage for SWC. He just like me, Ryujin.
I was trying to get everyone to dance, like going up, and like everyone just like shot me down, man.
You're trying to get who's everyone? Like people
like
watching you, or-
when we were, you remember we had that line, right? When there was the 2018.
You had the most swagger, man.
And I was they put me because I was the shortest. They put me in the front because they wanted to do like height to really tall, like very end. And I was like, yo, everyone, we should just like start doing a dance, like a conga line. And everyone just looked at me like what the fuck are you talking
I know
about?
that happened. Yeah, but yeah, it was cool.
That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome, man. I hope they do some more of these guild events, right? After this whole COVID-19 stuff, but more of these guild events, man. That was one of my favorites. It was the LA regionals, that guild battle thing. That was very fun to watch. I enjoyed that. Quite a lot. Yeah. Really hope they do some more. All right, back into these common siege defenses. Can we talk about some more that you guys are seeing? Can we talk about two that
Beast Riders.
wait? There's two that I really don't like, and it's so stupid how many there are. It's stupid Skullgirl ones, man. It's like Luis, Jean, Skullgirl or Trasser, or what is it? Jean and like Trasser and Skullgirl, and it's so annoying. It's like the RNG of them. Like I've had multiple battles I went in. They throw the rock, it's violence, and then the second guy throw the rock, it's violence, and I'm dead. I just die.
You just bring a
Just
birdie,
use
dude.
Garo.
But
Lauren.
it's every
Oh,
single one, dude.
oh.
We killed the
Garo
stack and
solos
they
all
put
of
the
them.
same. They put the same stack again. I only have so many options, dude. They keep putting Skullgirl after Skullgirl after Trasser after Trasser.
You can
I
birdie
have not
Lauren it
seen
too,
that
dude.
defense in so long.
Yeah.
Really?
Garo
Yeah, that's
Lauren.
kind of old.
Yeah, that is not a G3. Well, that is not
Lucia is really good versus like all of the Jean teams because she just ignores the resistance anyways. So you can use like Garo, Lauren, and then a Lucia and just win.
Really?
Dude,
But it might.
Lauren Verd
I do
plus
wanna
any
interrupt.
plus one is.
What's a good offense to counter the wind Beast Rider defenses?
The Commune win Beast Rider ones, or
Or
Okay,
what's the
well,
popular
Galleon-
wind Beast
Galleon
Rider?
Clara.
All right. Well,
man.
just shut me down there and not even talk about
Yeah,
you know.
goodbye.
I mean, but the thing is that I'm
See you
suggesting it because
later.
this is a defense that even though you guys aren't seeing it, I'm talking for the majority of the players in Siege. That's the reason we're talking about these, right? Comps and defenses from majority of players,
Yeah.
right?
Birdie
And
Lauren
Tyler
and
already
Garo.
told you the answer. Tyler
Okay,
said
Garo.
Garo. So move
Garo
on.
is
Garo or
Beast
Verd
Rider.
Lauren. Like
Okay, we
Andrew
just
said,
did a
Verd
siege. We
Lauren
just
is
did
really
the
good.
siege yesterday, where there was every single tower for like 50 towers, all of them. How are you gonna counter them with just Gato? You only have one option, right? It's all the same, right? So what are more
Garo,
options for
Verd
it?
Lauren, and then so Garo for one of the teams, and then you go Verd
Right.
Lauren for the second team, and then you take something like a Lucia with some like slow chip damage destroy unit, and then another one you take like a destroy Camilla and a destroyer Tash.
Or
You
you
can honestly
take a
destroy.
Harmonia-
You could
a
destroy
Har-
those defenses with like bruisers.
A
all the way
Harmonia
down.
too.
Is it really
Yeah,
that
Harmony is
easy?
really good
Was
against
it-
them.
was-
Yeah.
Is
Was
it
that-
really that easy? We told you it's not
Yeah,
trade
yo.
anymore.
It's just build more Garrows.
The real thing is you can't try to like
Fire
freeze
Twins,
them.
Fire Twins.
I
you
had
can't, like,
so much
Lucian all of them.
difficulties. I had so many difficulties with it, trying to beat it multiple times with the variations they had, because the Luis Jean whatever was like so hard to get through. Like, how do you get through that? Like, it's just so
Also,
much heal, so much
IslandGrown.
cleanse, and you just
Do you
can't
feel
even kill
like-
the skull goal.
Do you feel like when you're doing RTA on stream, it's okay, but doing Guild War or Siege on stream, it's extra difficult? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but is it like that with everybody?
I think so.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. It's probably easier when you're at home on your couch, figuring out. You could take all the time in the world to figure out what to beat on that.
I mean, as
offense.
long as you're not listening to like chat, like not letting chat influence your decision too much. I
Yeah.
guess.
Hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
Brian, here's another one for the Luis Skogel one. You could do Molong, since you recently got Molong
Right.
and Bolverk, Molong Bolverk and Wind Demon, if they have a Reser, and or you could just use Bolverk, Molong, and like another healer. Like
But then I'm getting constantly provoked by the Jean because I'm killing the Tracer
Yeah,
first
just kill the Jean first, because Tracer is not doing enough damage for those 3 units
die.
to ever die. And
Okay,
then
that's another one. That's another good
Luis
one.
is pumping the Bolverk, and then you're just constantly healing
Right,
because
right.
he's doing four buffs.
Yeah, maybe
honest,
maybe
I
I got maybe I got tilted on it because I had to like kill it like 8 times or some crap. But
Brian,
Or
take
you're
Fire
doing it on
Twins,
stream.
Fire Twins.
Yeah.
But then they have
There's no
immunity, right,
immunity.
from Luis constantly.
Well, if there's no immunity. You said like.
Okay,
just
so without the
John-
Luis, the Jean double one. Okay. Interesting. All right, moving on. Still, Beast Rider defenses. Now, okay,
Yes.
obviously, I know that these are on defenses, and these are definitely talked about. Yes. So, what is the exact comps? So
Well,
everybody
let's talk
kind of
about
knows.
Beast Rider offense because I
Okay.
don't know. You guys have the Beast Rider offenses.
I don't have a Beast Rider.
Mm.
My
Okay,
defenses
Invictus.
are
What's
not
up?
used
Beast Rider
right now.
offense.
Somehow I've pulled 4 Beast Riders.
Whoa.
mean-
What?
I pulled dupes of like the Savannah and the Barbara, but
Great.
I mean you can use the Clara from Savannah.
Gal,
Like-
Clara, Savannah. Okay, yeah.
That-
So what's
like,
up?
offense?
How do you counter Galleon, Clara, Savannah? That sounds really good.
I mean, the first way is just Lucian it. You can Leo it. People take like Leo, another tanky wind unit, and then like a Rakuni works.
I've been doing Eladriel, Diana, and Leo.
Ladriel, Diana, Leo.
You would
The
also
only thing with that one is like your Ladriel could possibly actually die if
Oh,
he gets defense broken, because Savannah does a lot of damage on defense
Ooh.
break
Well,
with attack and
100
speed both.
100 res Elad won't, because a lot of people don't build a Savannah with enough accuracy to make it
But you still
matter.
have the Galleon.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm gonna go back to. I use Amelia, like 100 res Amelia with a lot of HP, and then
Yeah.
it's high enough speed where even if Galleon cleanses, even does his thing, she just goes into human form and cleanse everything anyway. So it's two
Okay.
fire bruisers and 1 Amelia high res. Because honestly, like you're worried about what Clara has to go through elemental disadvantage check against Amelia to stun and strip, and then you have to worry about Savannah
Resistance
trying
check.
to like do all the stuff to her, do
Yeah,
the
I was think-
skill 3.
I was thinking of finding a way for Miao Wang to work too, because he can't. I mean, his only threat to Miao Wang is the Galleon, which would push back his attack bar a little bit. But
Oh, but it also could kill him. Most people run the Galleon on damage.
yeah,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
It has to be tanky.
It's violent and speed crit damage attack, or like speed crit damage accuracy. It'll do a lot still.
What about just triple fire with 1 support fire?
I think the Galleon will just kill everything if you go triple fire, right?
Really? If you have a
Yeah,
Rakuni
If
in
you,
there,
if you do triple fire, one of them I think has to be a Perna for the like.
right,
built-in
Perna,
five.
maybe Meho Wang that you don't use, slap him on whatever
Okay,
runes, and then Rakuni.
Tried.
Like, how does Galleon kill that? I don't think he's gonna be a killer, right?
Has to be a bruiser for sure. It can't be like Jean.
Right. So Rakuni double bruiser then. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Rakuni double bruiser probably could take it on pretty easily. Right. That's
Win
one
mo-
option though, but we gotta always come up with like 5 because.
Oh, one
you know,
option's enough. I just want to hear like what you guys are using. Are you guys outspeeding it? Are you guys,
I think Feng Yan's actually not terrible versus it, because Feng Yan's really hard to die in 1 turn. I
Wind
usually
Monkey
use something else to tank the yeah, Wind Monkey would work the same thing. I use something else to tank the Savannah's hit, the skill 2.
Oh man, we're
The Beast
supposed to
Riders
have-
are kind of annoying because they have like 2 lives, you know?
But the second one,
I
it
mean-
doesn't do anything though, right? It just does damage. So
Yeah,
a
but
lot of
still,
damage, though.
yeah,
it
is
could
a
like
lot of
Island
damage.
proc, you know?
That's the same thing with your guys' 100 res Odins. That strategy.
Oh, yeah, like only Ken Baller's nerdy enough to do that.
Calling him out. Yikes.
Called out.
Strategies called
Yeah,
out,
dude.
baby.
Yikes.
All right, so what other defenses are a little bit more common right now? Just want to give a variety of different options for people to build and options for people to go against. Right, don't give them your dirty secrets for Siege. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like the secret
number
ones.
one piece of siege
popular
advice,
one.
guys. Number one piece of siege advice. If you can't build a lot of really good offenses or defenses, just build 4. Build 2 NAV5s and 2 NAV4s and stop. You're better off having like a smaller amount of really, really good and really well-run defenses and making sure you have 10 offenses that can clear. Because there's literally no point putting runes on something that's just going to instantly die if you know it's going to instantly lose. People
Good
do this all the time. They spread all their runes really thin because they're like, I need 10 siege defenses, and they just waste all their runes, they waste all their time, they waste all their mana, they lose, their guild flames them because they're losing, and then they get upset.
Very good advice.
You know,
It's
I am
always
a little
about
bit
consolidating your account.
I'm a little bit upset about Siege in general, dude. I think I got my Molong too late, dude. The Molong Elad Perna defense, man. I missed the era of getting success on that
Yeah.
shit, man. Like everybody
Yeah.
just smashes it, bro, and I'm like, I want to use it. I just want to use it.
I mean, you
man.
can build the Molong like Tyrannus Harmonia, but it's only going to be
Oh.
like a secondary defense.
That's
like,
a terrible defense.
No, I'm saying like it's literally just a filler. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
It's
a
so late.
good bruiser defense without a speed lead? I can't think of any.
Nothing.
It
It has
Has
to have LDs.
Nothing.
It has to have
Right?
LDs.
Nothing.
Wait. I'm trying to make Rakan work. Some people are like some Rakan defenses could be interesting.
It has to have an LD, I think, for it to be strong enough for a bruiser defense. It has to have something that's like ridiculously hard to deal with.
Like Thompson, you noticed, right? Artemil kind of sucks on defense now. Like it's terrible.
100%.
Also, Lucia's so good. Lucia's like hard counter. Lucia Lauren
Yeah.
is hard counter.
I mean,
100% so.
you're either not building, you're either building like a super tanky Artemil that doesn't get Lucianed, but then he doesn't do enough damage, and then you have to bring supplementary damage dealers to actually burst things down, or
Yep.
or you're building a crit damage Artemil and it gets Lucian.
Look at Ryujin, 2 years later, still schooling me about Artemil Guild War defenses. Oh my god.
True.
Ryujin.
I think the only defense that has like consistently remained good, even after like nerfs and changes and meta shifts and new units being released, like Shina Martina Triana is still
Yeah.
good,
Yes.
and it will always be good.
Or the
There's
Sierra
actually
variant.
a lot of counters. It's just that
Yeah, the Sierra variant, yeah, you're true.
Sierra version's really good, but that no, I don't want.
Being a NAV4 only tower makes it a lot harder though. I think forcing
think
it as a
that-
NAV4 tower is really hard.
It's just the fact that it's got ambiguity to it, right? You know, like you don't know if it's swift or violent, and you don't know who moves first. So
So-
any kind of defense that's like that,
Yeah,
automatically
you're
gets
basically
bumped
set
up.
to like you can almost always get 1 win. Maybe not 2 though, because you have to like gamble. You have to gamble to say, okay, like what am I taking into this? Like, is it going to be super tanky? Is it going to be super insanely fast? Is it violent? Is it swift? Is it full damage? So like you get the 1 win and then you lose. But I mean that's fine. That's all you need. All you need is 1 win. Even 1 win every like 3 attacks is like more than enough.
Yeah, that defense is kind of annoying. So what are the counters that you've seen so far that you can use against the Martinez units?
One really common counter that I've seen that's
Mm.
against not super tanky Shina Martina Triana is Susano, the Water Assassin, and Orion.
Stella or
Yeah,
or,
Stella
or
Orion.
Megan, or Megan.
So and you kill off the first person you kill off is Martina. You just use skill 2 with Susano, bring him down low enough. Skill 3 with Stella kills it off. Shayna and Triana can't win.
Yep.
I see. So you just gotta boost up fast enough then. That's a really good one actually.
It's pretty easy to boost fast enough with that too. Like
Yeah, because you have 30%
you scale on speed and you have 30% speed lead advantage.
Right, and you get
Yeah,
30% to Stella, so easy to speed tune it as well. It's insanely easy to speed tune. True.
Yeah, and someone said you could replace Orion. You could build like 2 more. You know, another Stella, Suzanne, and then use Megan instead of another Orion. You know, it's all good. As long as you got that multi-hit to burst down that one of the twins. And then 1 twins is just useless.
Oh
The
yeah.
further and further you get on the budget list, you can start using Konamiya if you have to. depending how far you have to go down the budget. At that point, you might as well just make like 4 Megans or something, like all 4-star.
Honestly, one of the another good advice I would give for Siege is just building dupes, building 4-star dupes. A lot of Trianas. Trianas is amazing for offense.
Triana, Lauren, Verd,
Yeah.
and I think maybe Garo.
Garo for sure.
Because Garo doesn't technically need skill ups, depending on what you're bringing it into.
I have 2 Harmonias, 3 Raccoonis, 3 Skogels.
Kamoons.
Sovas.
Oh yeah,
Go
Kamoons.
do Sovas.
Well, I should build a 3rd Kamoon.
Galleons.
The other thing is though, certain one of these dupes needs skill ups, so they're a little bit harder to build.
Yeah.
When we talk about things like Verd doesn't need skill ups, Lauren is free to play skill ups.
Triana, even the dupe Trianas don't need skill ups.
Yeah, most of the dupe Trianas, if you're using them mainly for offense, they don't need skill ups because you're just using them to survive the first turn.
Yeah, and you can just build them shield will too. They don't even need to be violent.
Exactly. You don't have to give up these crazy runes. And then you can do like 2As, like you can do extra Elusias, you could do extra Mihos and stuff like that. Like they don't necessarily need to have the most insane runes, and they don't ever actually need skill ups for this kind of stuff. It's nicer to have it, but you don't absolutely need it.
I want to go back to one of the Galleon Clara defenses. One of our guildies actually used a really nice idea, but it didn't work. It was what's that? Hold on, what's that unit's name? The fire.
Iselia?
Hold on.
What does it look
Fire
like? What does it do? What does it describe?
The one that dies and heals everyone and cleanses.
Freya.
Oh, Freya.
Oh,
Freya.
We are such fucking nerds, but I can continue.
Zombie. An unruined level 1 4-star Freya against Clara, and the defense he fought against, the Clara didn't do enough damage to kill the.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah, man. Vegan Clara.
It was actually an amazing idea, except it just doesn't work on defenses that have shit runes, which.
Well, are you supposed to build damage on the Clara? Like, is that supposed to be a thing?
Nah.
It's not, but if you have a good enough Clara, you have enough, just overall stats.
Oh, I went speed crit rate accuracy and then just stacked as much HP and defense as I could.
Yep.
I didn't put any damage on mine at all.
Yep.
It just has a crit rate because it's faster.
But just the fact that you can't kill a level 1 4-star is kind of funny.
Well,
You just
the
need-
scaling
they
is not
just
that
need to
good on
add-
the skill.
I was saying they just need to add a feature where you can like unlevel your guild towers. That'd solve it.
What the f?
No, what?
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
That's what it is.
All right,
Like
you can unlevel them, but you gotta buy them back again. How about that?
No, hell no.
Oh God.
They're so expensive, dude. It's so expensive.
Sacrifices for siege. There you go.
Now you
How
do get
committed
more
are you?
guild. I mean, more arena points, right? Every week. It feels really good.
Yeah, it does feel pretty
Also, if you're building Miho for defense, she's better on violent.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, "Oh, I gotta go vampire." It's like, "Oh, she's way better on violent." The more RNG you add, the more scary the defense is.
Wait, speaking of Miho, can I just point out the fact that I pulled an LD Nat 5 before I got a Miho?
Wait, you don't have a Miho?
You don't have a Miho? You fed it before. You fed it before.
Like 3 years ago, though. It's been
Okay,
so
well, you
long.
pulled one. You pulled one.
So you did. So
But,
you
like,
did
3
feed
years
it.
ago.
Okay, all right. So you still fed it. You still got one. Still got one. But it's been that long, huh? Jesus.
So what you're telling me is I need to feed my Miho.
Yes, there you go. That's a secret. But then you won't get an SS tier LD though.
Yeah, imagine
We'll
that.
talk about more.
Imagine
We'll talk
that.
about lore later. Though.
Then Tyler, you're gonna be stuck with no Miho and no LD Nat 5. Get baited.
Wait, Tyler, what's your most wanted LD? Nat 5.
I've always wanted Gianna the most, but I think Yunhong would be the most fun, and I also think Yunhong is the best LD Nat 5 in the game.
It's very
Same.
good.
I wanted Yunhong.
Every Yunhong user will tell you that it's only okay though. Because they know it's OP, but they can't say it's bad, so they'll tell you it's okay. Every Yunhong owner will tell you, every Yunhong owner will tell, why? Every Yunhong owner will tell you it's okay. Because they can't say it's bad, because they know it's good, right? But they don't want to say it's too OP, but it's good.
But she got nerfed though.
I know, imagine if you had her back when she wasn't nerfed though. That's insane, dude. How ridiculous
Dude, even with
it
the
is.
nerf, she's still insane.
You know
no,
the
before,
had
the
her-
nerf made her OP. Before it was stupid.
Yeah, before it was
Yeah.
like she was just not contender. She's literally just hands down the best.
Yeah.
If you ever watched like the previous SWCs, man, when like pre-nerf Yunhong and Gani Hather was like a thing,
Oh.
and with Molong, it was like Molong, Yunhong, Gani Hather. Oh, it's disgusting.
It's
Can we
disgusting.
bring Molong back? I miss Molong.
I
I missed it.
yes.
Molong is not that bad. And if you have a young Hong, Molong's really good.
Molong is actually pretty good right now. I think right
Yeah.
now Molong fits. Like you can actually just draft a Molong in. Like I know this is kind
No.
of weird. I've been watching a lot of Hell's Archer playing because he's been playing a lot against like people with Art of Ragdoll. He picks the Molong and it works out like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single game for
Molong's
him.
really
I'm like, this is actually insane. It just works every time.
Molong
He doesn't
doesn't
even
care.
get the stuns. He literally skill 3 just carries the match. It's so good.
Nah, it's so bad actually. Let's just buff it.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
just hate that.
Oh.
It just triggers me that he has a skill that literally does nothing.
Skill 2.
Yeah.
But 3 chances defense break is a pretty good makeup for that on
It
skill
sometimes
1.
stuns. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like the 3 chances to defense break, I think is more than enough for his like entire kit.
I still
Because
don't
you have
like
that,
units,
and then you have 70%
Not bad.
nuke.
They have
I
really
still
good
don't like
first skills.
units like that though. It doesn't feel like the kit's complete, you know? Like what they could have done. Let's not. I don't mean to like go into talking about Molong.
You can, sure.
Okay, we can talk about
we'll
Molong.
go to buffs and nerfs.
I
There's
got
nothing wrong with that.
I got
Go ahead.
pre-nerf Molong yesterday. Somebody
I'd
3-man
rather have-
stunned me and then 4-man stunned me.
I'd rather have consistency, you know, but maybe tone down skill. So I want to know that the skill is going to do something. Just maybe.
Molong is one of the most consistent monster in RTA. That third skill is so consistent with damage. Most consistent, right?
Yeah, but
It's
if you don't do anything
But
after
it's
turn 1,
it's,
then
it's so expected though. It's like if it's let through, it's expected. You know what I mean? So you're never in a
But the thing
position
is, you
that
can
should be
also
that.
hold it. Right, like you don't have to use it.
Right,
You
but
can
it's so
hold it.
expected. It's so expected. So you can play
But
around.
even
it
if
so
you
much more easy.
expect it, like there's not that many things you can do to like mitigate the 3v4 potential setup.
Well, Brian, I thought you loved Molong. What happened?
It sucks.
I think Molong's
Buff
pretty
it,
good.
buff it. Give me. Can I play around with him for like 1 week with the S2 that you guys got to feel, man? I just want to feel that,
Yeah,
bro.
just feed your
I just
Julian
want
and
to
then you'll-
first
you'll
pick
go
it
back
and
to
then be able to
2018.
S2
That's all.
and then just win off of the chance of S2, man. I just want that feeling, man.
He
Brian
feeds it
did
and then
a
they
whole
buff it.
year of like
Make it a strip, take away
low
the
meta
stun.
defense on Siege. There was like every single type of defense you could have seen with a Molong. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
take away the stun.
almost
make the strip
a year and a half
consistent.
ago.
That's true.
And
Actually,
right now,
if,
the
they,
only
if they made his strip more consistent and took away the stun, I think I'd be down for that. That gives him a
Yeah.
lot more versatility. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. I don't think
Take
they'll
away the
buff him,
stun and
though.
give him a slow debuff, please.
What the slow debuff? What the?
Yeah, that'll be OP with Galleon Thor.
Might as well just give it defense buff, let it revive, put self protect, soul protect, give it provoke
Oh
as well.
shit!
Yeah,
Why would you ever think that a unit like that would be fair and balanced in the game?
sounds fair to me. Especially because I don't have one, right?
Absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe a unit like that would heal either.
It'd be better than the light and dark versions of its counterparts.
Actually, let's go back to topic number 3 real quick. A little bit change of discussion, but I don't know if you guys saw the picture, but apparently there might be a new unit that's coming out, right? They did release like that picture on their social media, and we could see these images behind the trees. Nobody's been able to like match up with like transmogs or anything what it's gonna be, so people are speculating new unit. What do you want to see? Nat 3, Nat 4, Nat 5? What kind of skill set? What kind of maybe we could talk about what you want in terms of their skills to change the meta or whatever skills you want to see, and maybe their appearance. What do you want them to look like too, right? Go ahead.
I'm hoping it's not another humanoid, but it's looking like it. I really want like a mystical creature. Like go back to like what they used to have, like dragons and all that stuff. Maybe like a gorgon, maybe like a sphinx or something. Something cool, something not humanoid, like Beast Rider.
When I first saw the picture, I thought it was like a Cilia buff or a Icarus buff. And then it shows the 2 little like things in the back behind the tree. I'm like, oh, it's not a buff. Lame.
Yeah, I don't know what I want. So we can start with that. I don't know what I want it to look like. Some people said they want more dinosaurs. Some people said they want insects and like something different.
Something different.
It's
Not
something
like-
that plays an instrument. So it's got to be like human or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I don't want. We would have got like what the last five.
And it's got to be female, I feel like, right? Because usually the people that play the Gu Teaching is like female, right?
Wait, does it actually look like one of those things?
True. Yeah, it does.
Does it?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Does it not? I mean, when I looked at the picture before we started, like that's what I saw.
Yeah,
if you guys want to see it, it's on all of the Summoners War social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's one that's have a great week, and it's like a picture of like the Summoners War Island. That's where you can see the picture.
Let me see if I can find it for you guys.
Yeah, and the units are
It-
behind the trees on the right.
Isn't it just a stick and a rope? Well, from what I look.
Yeah, stick in a rope. So what could that be?
Hey, wishful thinking. It's going to be a Cilia buff. You guys see the Cilia there? It's going to be a Cilia buff,
That
man.
has nothing to do with the new. What?
Fine, whatever.
How do we even extrapolate a buff? What the?
Because Cilia's picture is in the front. It's the only LD in F5.
I see.
It's this one with the paintbrush, right?
They said it's
Yeah.
the 2 units behind the trees. Like there's only 2 trees on the right, and there's like 2 things where you only can see like a little bit of it sticking out. Some people said behind the summoners or icon on the top left as well, but that one's like even more.
Okay, I
You
posted
can't see it.
in the Discord group if you want to post it for chat.
Yeah, let me grab it up.
Oh no, there's a Young Hong in the back too. Now
Yeah.
Celia's not gonna get a buff for sure.
Unlucky, dude.
Great.
So
Thanks a lot, Young Hong.
does anyone here play Dota by chance?
I play Dota.
Do you feel like the Inkswell might be like kind of like, or the paintbrush might be like the Inkswell character they have in Dota?
Yeah. The one that like
Grimstroke.
stuns, right?
Grimstroke.
That's
Yeah,
the
it's
one
like
with-
he's like a Japanese demon.
Grim something. That's his name.
Grimstroke. It's Grimstroke.
Yeah. I'm a very good Dota player. I welcome any challengers, especially IslandGrown. I whoop his ass.
I think it'd be really cool to see like an Oni style like demon, but like have with a paintbrush. That'd be cool.
Look at this guy talking bullshit, man. Look at this guy talking bullshit over here, man. Look at him. SWC champion thinks he's a good player in every single fucking game. Okay, all right, whatever. All
No,
right.
just better than you.
Yeah.
Just a little bit better than you. Not every single game.
I see.
Just Dota and LOL.
Don't worry,
maybe it's
sir.
a
We will
Buddhist.
get our challenge, sir. We'll
It's
get
a
to
Buddhist
balance.
with a paintbrush.
A
female
Buddhist? Yeah.
Well, because
Buddhist.
do you guys watch Bleach?
I've
the
seen Bleach.
anime?
Which character are you talking about?
Squad Zero's leader is like a Buddhist monk that has like his weapon is like a paintbrush. But his like this whole character is like based off of like ancient Japanese Buddhist mythology or something like
So
that.
you want him to look more like a Shaolin monk kind of like thing then?
Yeah, but
Like
it's
maybe,
probably
maybe like a
female.
Krillin, look kind of like Krillin as well, the bald head.
If
Oh, yeah,
it's
he
new
was
mon-
bald. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
If it's new monsters coming out, don't you guys want like Nat 3s or Nat 4s? I'm kind
I
of
want one
tired
of
of
each.
getting Nat 5s.
I want one of each.
Well, they
honestly.
usually do a Nat 4 and Nat 5, like at least the past couple, right?
No,
maybe
it's
not.
all Nat 5s.
No, it's 4
Yeah,
and
besides
5.
the Beast Riders.
The Gargoyle, yeah, before Beast Riders
Oh,
was
Gargoyle, yeah.
Demon, and then like Cannon
Hey,
Girl,
can we-
and
Can we make the gargoyles not shit before we decide to add new units to the game?
right?
please?
We did give
Oh
some
my
really good
God.
suggestions. We gave some
Gargoyle.
They're
really good
literally
ones.
so bad.
They're so bad.
And then the
I've tried to make the winner
dryads.
work.
There's like one good dryad, and then
Hey.
one okay dryad,
Come
and
to
then the
us,
rest of them suck.
come to us to think like this. If the gargoyles are good, it will be a intangible buff to Laura. Yeah,
I'm
make
down with it.
Laura better.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
It is so biased.
And let's buff Laura. Not
I mean,
biased.
we all know why gargoyles suck. It's a unit that requires you to target it from the enemy that has to do something. It's a reactionary monster that needs to be targeted, and you could just.
But
And
it
they're-
provokes.
Yeah.
It
And
provokes.
they're beast.
but
Dude,
provoke
don't give
gets-
something 90 base speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we
Oh, yeah,
we
this-
actually I think like 2 weeks ago we gave some real I forgot what we talked about. We gave some insane suggestions for demons and gargoyles. It was when DJKHK was on the night podcast. We came up with some really freaking good ones.
Like Antares-esque, right? Where it gets a turn on like without filling its attack bar, some way of like interrupting.
Yeah, something like, as well as maybe putting like threat state and stuff, like forcing people to attack it more, and kind of accentuating that gargoyle feel. I forgot exactly what we said though, but it was I remember at that time it was a pretty like semi-revelation kind of like, oh, that's not bad. Like that can be pretty good, right? And I don't think it's too strong because base stats of the damn gargoyle kind of sucks, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. So what I think is gonna happen with these new units, if there are new units, is I'd like to see them soon. Maybe their global anniversary time, as well as I'd like to see a fusion. Right? It's been about over a year since they've released a fusion, so make one of the Nat 5s a fusion. Maybe make one of the new Nat 4s one of the things that can be fused as well. Right? And then after that, maybe a Nat 3. Not fusion though. Yeah, released into the game. That'd be interesting. Something everybody can
It'd
get.
be nice.
Well, definitely
It'd
more
be nice
Nat
if they made a
4s.
fusion. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
It'd be nice if they made a fusion like RTA unit, right?
Mm.
Because right now none of the fusion units can really be for RTA.
Hey, Jean was great in RTA for a long time.
For long, yeah.
Wait, you
John,
don't?
I mean, no,
Hathor.
wait, it wasn't even that long, dude. It was like a year, wasn't it?
That's
She
a
only
long
had, like,
time. She was good for a year.
Yeah, it's just good for you.
But it was like only like 2 seasons, and then she
No
like
longer. She was better.
She's
She
good
was
for 3
longer.
seasons.
Yeah.
Hey, Variables was good for 3 months when people thought they could use it against
3
Sean. I'm just saying. People were
No.
picking it.
Vero lost every single high level game.
Hey,
against
but it
Jean.
was being picked in high level games. So you know
Oh,
what I'm saying? It
yeah,
got
Yeah,
some
but
light.
the thing was, people would
Definitely
just use Jean's skill 2 on them all along, and then they would insta kill the Vero, so it doesn't matter.
But he was used, okay? I'm just saying he was picked, alright? But yeah, maybe a more RTA picked unit would be interesting. I like that. But just in Fusion in general, man, it's supposed to be once a year, man. Last one was what 2018 that they released one. Last year was no Fusion. It was
Last one
end
was
of
really
2018.
good.
Wait, it was.
Last one was really
Fire
good.
Lightning Emperor was the last one. Valor was the last fusion, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that was like in the fall, like the early winter of
Yeah.
2018.
Last one
2018.
was a game changer.
Yeah, it really was.
Valor?
We all thought it was kind of garbage too for a long time. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's just a Guild Wars unit. No one cares. It'll be like a Lucian setup unit." And then the Japanese players figured out that you could use him in R5, and he was a god.
Yeah.
He was
a
a
staple
god.
unit to build.
One sec.
The thing is, his family's actually, and like everything in his family is pretty solid as well, right? Odin's used, Bulwark's used, right? Even
Right.
Herdate was used. It's just a goddamn guild nerd, but I mean, maybe he'll get a buff, right? It's waiting its turn.
Hopefully soon. Wait, when is the next let me look at them. When is the next buff patch notes?
Here, let me go ahead and swap here. We'll go into the
I think it's like
open
3 weeks to a
discussion.
month ish when we should get our next.
Yeah,
That's
usually
right, 2 to 3 weeks I think is when we're approximately going to get our balance patch. But it's hard to guess because they do the spacing between balance patches like so intermittently. Like it's not a regular spacing between them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like 2 months, sometimes it's like 4 months, sometimes it's less. It's really hard to
Last
say.
one was a surprise, right? The last
Yeah.
buff patch.
I hope
the
they
last
surprise
season
us
was also
again.
a surprise too because they shortened the seasons a lot.
Yeah. So I wonder what's gonna happen if we're gonna get a surprise one this season. That'd be pretty interesting. That'd be very interesting because a lot of the big changes they'll try to do them towards the beginning of the year, right? Later years they don't do it as much because that's when like SWC is kind of going on. So I feel like they don't do as many big stuff or what.
Last year they made a big one before us.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
They
I
added
forgot.
the demons too right before the
Oh,
SWC.
you right. You're actually right.
Demons and gargoyles.
Yeah, gargoyles and demons. Yeah.
Oh,
None of them were used though, but yeah.
No, didn't someone use
Which one?
No.
If he
Maybe.
did, then it didn't really work out. 'Cause
Yeah.
we don't remember.
Yeah, they didn't really use it.
We don't remember.
Yeah, I
don't
don't remember. I think it was Mephisto. Someone used it during SWC. Had like one match, I think.
I don't think so. Was it? Yeah.
Hmm.
But the big one was them nerfing the twins, right? Right before SWC.
Oh
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, the twin nerf was kind of big for a lot of the players because a lot of them were like, "Hey, I'm gonna use this in SWC," and it's very easy
Especially,
to play.
yeah, especially if you're one of those players that don't have like a Vanessa or Sierra or vice versa.
You think it's
Or
good
both
that
of
they
them.
did that? It might have been
That
pretty
was before
boring.
2019, right? Or was that before 2018? I can't
No,
remember.
that was last summer.
That was just last
Yeah,
summer.
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. That was right before SWC LA, right? When we all
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Right before the Guild versus Guild.
I remember Archer was like, "What
Yeah,
do I do
that's
now?"
how-
And I was
that's
like,
how-
"Oh, I feel so bad for you, dude."
Oh yeah.
It was
It's
I
like
remember
his
the
comp
top-
was wild. It was the Sierra Gianna twins +1. Like that was crazy. And then they nerfed the twins, and it was just like that comp died so fast.
I mean, I think it was maybe good they did that. It would have been kind of boring to see just like twins. You know what I mean? Or what do you think?
Well, the big one was
Uh,
has really affected me was that Dreams Joseph didn't have Vanessa. And
But he didn't need it.
after we battled, I walked into the room. He's like, "Oh, they nerfed twins. I don't know what to do." Poor guy.
Now I remember
Sorry,
the
keep
top
moving,
3 twins abuser. It was J-Mac, Archer, and Michael from SSA.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
any
yeah.
Gianna user too. It was so bad.
Dude, it was.
Michael Yan?
What?
Michael Yan?
No. Michael.
Oh, Jungle
Michael.
Dog. Jungle Dog. Yeah.
Michael with Wunsa.
I think
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah, Jungle Doggo.
I think that
Good
was
guy.
the easiest, highest level comp we've ever seen in Summoners War, where you could close your eyes and go tuck, 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 and just Martina, Shayna, like everything. Like each wing is just like, huh, you could do like you can
I
play
remember-
CS:GO
Yeah,
while you're
yeah,
doing
yeah.
while you're doing
He used,
wings,
to, he used to
man.
let me,
China.
he used to let me play on his account, so I'd use China Martina,
so much
China
fun.
Martina, Sierra,
Gianna
Triana,
was-
and then like anything. It could be
Oh,
anything.
yeah.
It could be a Sema. It could be anything. You could pick Woonsaw. You could just
Yeah.
shit on anybody.
I remember I lost to Tyler on Michael's account. I'm like, and I was messaging Michael. I'm like, and then all of a sudden, no, that's Tyler.
He comes to the stream. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "I don't know. These units are OP."
Yeah, that was a very
Defense
very
broke
fun.
in like one turn of the Artemil. His defense broke
Dude,
him,
Mif-
and then Martina just insta killed him.
And they could proc. If they got a proc, it was just done.
Yeah,
Because
the-
she gained damage so fast. Like she got 50% per stack 3
Yep.
times. So if she stripped 2 buffs, just instant double damage.
yeah.
I do know a lot of people that like started quitting the game because of the twins. Because like they made the twins really strong, they nerfed the twins, and then they nerfed the twins again, and then they buffed it, and then they nerfed it again. So it's like, no, people weren't happy about that, and they're just like, I'm
Right,
over it.
because when it released, it was too strong in the dungeons or whatnot, right? Because they all teamed up together. You guys remember that? Like all of them would go together, and it would be so nuts, right? So they had to nerf that right after releasing it, but I guess they had to, but it just feels so bad, right?
I just don't understand how you don't test that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, I don't know how
had
they
they not
test
do
that.
that wasn't broken before
Yeah.
release.
But honestly,
Anyway.
Martina is super broken. Like even now, it's just
She's
the
so
fact that
strong.
her interactions with buffs. It's like there's an LD Nat 5 technically that's way shittier than Martina, which is Alsharian.
Yeah, basically, and it's not
Yeah.
as good.
He-
They should have a Sharian
can't
team up with
feel free
Ifrits.
Oh,
Eh? Eh? I'm just throwing it out there.
Ooh, interesting.
Open discussion right now, right? A Sharian teams up with Ifrits. That'd be cool.
and then steals buffs.
Yeah, sure. I still think Martina Shano would still be better, but I mean, hey.
Well, because they steal at the moment instead of
Yeah.
stealing after the hit.
Yeah. So it'd only be bringing in
So-
damage technically.
This might be a hot take on this, but I've always thought that the twins should never have been PvP units, and they should have been only PvE units. I don't mean like restrict them so you can't use them, but I think that their kits and designs never should have been built where you could use them in like high tier RTA lists. So like I don't think China ever should have had a speed lead, for example.
No, me either.
I think if
Yeah.
if that had existed, I think a lot of people would have still really liked the twins because of how strong they were in PvE and how seamlessly they made the game feel. But it also would have been really, really fair to add them to the game, and they still would have made a ton of money, right? I think the biggest issue was that, like, on top of Martina having her kit, they had a speed lead twin that you could pair with her. If they didn't have that speed lead twin, people would use her, but they'd have to have like really good runes to use it, and then the PvE stuff would be fine still, right? Like, because you'd be able to have the attack bar reduction from China, which would still be nice for like, you know, offense as well as PvE content. It's just like they made them so good, but they made them like too good in just that speed lead. I really think that speed lead was the only issue.
No,
Because
it's Martina
without
too,
it-
right?
Well, yeah,
It
but,
could have been
without that
either
speed lead,
or.
it's so hard to use. It's so much harder to use China Martina. Like
Yeah.
to use
Yeah,
it,
but
you
I'm
have
saying,
to have
like,
insane runes.
If they didn't have a unit like Martina, then Shayna having the speed lead wouldn't have been. It would have been okay, right? Because the fact is, Martina together they just did way too much, and they could
Well,
strip.
Okay, so yes, but I also think that China was notably better than Martina. Even with the 50% bonus damage per stack, I think that what made China really good was she had both speed lead and attack bar reduction. So she's basically, and the stun, of
She's-
course. So
she's
if
Lauren.
you
AoE
set
Lauren.
her up, she does what Chiwu does now, right? But
Yeah.
she did damage and she def broke.
She
Well,
actually
also-
is Chiwu, technically, yeah. Chiwu.
So you just set up strippers in
they
front
have
of
a passive with multi hits, so it's like a multi passive. You know,
Yeah.
if they only hit once, it won't be as bad. But you can get armor broken, steal the buff, and the damage still goes through. It's like crazy. You know?
And the
Yeah.
defense buff is on or the defense break is on the early hits too, or it's like every single hit is a defense break chance.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. That's just
Yeah.
it's wild. Like
I
when
mean-
you look at Vigor, for example, he does 3 hits of 3-turn defense break. But if you defense break the second hit, it's way less damage. Or if you defense break the third
like,
hit, it's like no
10,000
damage at all,
less.
right? But
Yeah.
like when you're using twins, it's like defense break, defense break, defense break. All the damage is going through.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone's
unless
like,
you have high resist or something and you get lucky.
Yeah. I think Comtois did make the twins. I don't know if they planned for them to be used a lot in PvP. I think they really actually wanted people to use twins for PvE, honestly, to
in
farm
Necro,
runes
huh?
and get like runes easier, right? I mean, a lot of people say it's hard to get runes now. I agree, right? I know how it is farming. It sucks to try to get runes and shit, but I think they try to make those units so that we'd have an easier time doing the dungeons, right? To get, easier clears. Because before twins, I mean, you guys remember the old teams, man? I mean, still decently fast, but a lot harder to build, and the rune quality was so much higher in order to have those dungeons, be at a minute or under a minute. So
It
they
really
were
makes
game
me
changing.
wonder if twins were just like a lazy response to something, because it's very clear that they weren't tested very well,
Mm.
if at all. Because even without like G3 runes, if you have like mid conk runes, like you're still destroying things with twins, right? Especially when they all move together. I just don't understand how that ever could have been a thought that was okay.
I still
I
remember
think
the
they just thought of
revelation.
something new with like they just wanted that interaction with 2 monsters.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's a good idea, like especially
Mhm.
on like a business perspective. You want to get 2 monsters that work well with each other, and now you have to get with
Both.
all the elements. You have to get even more, and if they even work well together, you can make different combinations. So everyone's like, "Oh, I want this twin. I want this other twin," and people are just gonna, like people did spend a lot of money for it, and then
Having like the OP one being LD too.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I mean the other 3 are not OP at all.
Bailey's decent.
Bailey and Belina
Bailey-
are okay
Bailey-
because
They're
Bailey-
definitely above average.
they're only
For
good.
arena,
They're only good
for
because
arena,
they
she's
have,
good.
yeah, they don't have disadvantage, which is what's great about them, right? That's their strength. But yeah, they don't provide anything too nutty, unfortunately. But yeah, twins were interesting. I still remember the revelation when like I was talking to my guildies back then, and they were like, "Yo, they all attack together." I was like, "Huh? What the fuck? I gotta get my hands on some of these, bro. I need to summon today, dude. They all attack together. What the fuck?"
Yeah,
So
I felt like
crazy,
you were
dude.
missing out if you don't have it.
And then after that, I still remember the guild chat like a couple days later. Oh shit, they nerfed them. Oh fuck, dude.
It was like
Oh, I
people
know,
were
that's what
double
people
wanting
double
it,
wanted.
you know?
Yeah, people are double wanting it. Yep. Yep.
I mean,
That's huge.
Distant Array was the first person I knew who double mod because Distant double
Oh.
mod all of them, right?
Whoa, I assumed. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't.
Yeah, and then line chat was just lines of complaint.
Yep. Give me back my
Oh,
double
yeah,
mod.
that sucks.
I remember that.
I
It does
think
suck.
I think they should have given back double mods in that case because they admitted they fucked up and they were like, this is not how it should have been. They should have refunded the double mods on those units. And normally I don't agree with like refunding on things or like being able to like recall things, but that one was 100% their fault and they fucked up really bad. I think that one actually should have been giving back the double mod is enough. I think.
Nope.
I don't think they need to like compensate people, like give them scrolls or give them crystals. Just if they spent double mod on the unit, give it back to them.
Nope. Shit happens, dude. Sucks to suck. That's basically it. That's it right there. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, I mean, the rest of us got reaped the rewards, right? We got what? A free twin HOH again. I think they gave us, and they gave us what, 100 or 200 transmog stones, right? So hey, I reaped the rewards off of nothing. So hey, thank you very much for all the players that did Devilmon and whatnot, and Comptos felt bad because we got some decent stuff back for that. I forgot.
I did
exactly
like
what it
how
was.
they refunded Devilmons for the Second Awakening monsters, though. That was really cool.
Oh,
it was.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
did
like that. I like that.
It was like
Yeah.
Christmas, a mini Christmas.
Yes.
It's nice because they realize that a lot of players don't value skilling up your 2As with your dimensional hole energy because like why wouldn't you just farm the runes, right? We need gems and grinds, and there's no other way to get gems and grinds. So like no high tier player is gonna farm extra, or I say no, very few high tier players are going to be farming extra 2As unless they have literally no other choice. Right? Like
Yep.
you guys, I'm sure you guys have a couple really good like ancient runes where you're like, I just don't have gems and grinds for this.
It
You have
definitely-
like some
Ryu's
some
not,
like,
Ryu's
some,
not
like
a fancy rune.
potential 120% efficient
Whoa.
rune. You're like, where are my gems and grinds?
Hey, let's be real. Let's be honest. The worst runes to get are the ones that are from that first dungeon because you never freaking farm it to get gems and grinds. That top
Oh, yeah.
one, that first one. You're like, oh, I got this awesome like 27
100%.
speed rune, but holy crap, I'm never getting grinds and gems. I don't farm that dungeon. Who the hell
Tyler.
farms that?
I had a quad speed will 27 base. Never got a will speed grind for 3. Will speed grind.
Whoa, how'd you just talk twice right there?
Whoa.
Nuts.
Someone think queued up.
Whoa,
No, we're good. We're good.
Hello.
are we
Yeah,
good?
we're good. We're good. That was
I think
weird.
we're good.
Yeah. Took me 3 months to get a grind.
I think we should be able to use immemorials on them,
But you can buy those, dude.
but you also can't max out your potential on an ancient if you're using an immemorial because you can't get the higher stats.
But
Right?
you
You
can
can't get the higher
buy
stats from
them,
gems and
dude.
grinds.
But you can buy them, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think-
I know.
I don't know. What I really want is I still want crafting. I want gems and grinds, like ancient gem grind crafting, like once a week or something.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We
that's a
just
good
we just
idea.
need something. I also want immemorial crafting once a week.
How about I think they'll probably do an event in the future. You know what I mean? 7th year anniversary, where you can craft, you know, like the ancient grinds and gems. That'd be nice to be able to get those. But
Great.
anything
I have to wait a year to not get my speed grind.
exactly. But the thing I want to push is I need more grind space, man. It's so freaking annoying. I need more grind space.
Same.
Just a little,
Oh
like,
my god.
Of course,
Same.
monster space, rune space, but the grind space is, you know, that you just made dimensional hole, man. Like, let me get a little more. You know, let me just a little bit more because I gotta hold these ancient grinds and gems, which are already hard to
These,
get.
like, these ancient like endure grinds. You're like, should I sell it? Should I keep it? I have, like,
Yeah,
Even the
You
blue
feel
grinds, like I keep the blue grinds now because I'm like, fuck.
for will, you
Yeah,
have
This
this
is
to.
eight-
high,
this is
they're higher
8%,
than a
like,
purple.
This
Yeah.
could be 8%
Yeah, it's better
No,
than
even the gems. The gems are even more valuable on the blue ones.
at 5 to 11.
You get lucky and it rolls
Yeah.
11. Yeah.
right, but only for will, right? Or do you guys keep them for like a couple other
Only
sets?
for Will, I think.
Maybe
keep-
Nem,
keep
maybe
Will, Nemesis,
Nemesis too.
and Despair.
Oh, yeah,
I keep
despair.
one of each at least, just in case. If I
Yeah.
ever, you always have that point where it's like, oh, I wish I kept something like a defense percent or an attack percent when you get that one grind, and then when you try to focus farm it, you never get it.
Even keeping flats can be good. Like I have a really nice will rune where I'm like I need a flat defense grind, and I haven't found one for like 2 months.
I hate the flats, dude, because like you're like,
I
okay,
hate the
I
flats,
will just get them later on when I need them, and
Yeah,
then you have the
I
runes
just
that need
follow
them,
all-
and you're like,
But
I
then
don't
you're never
remember,
getting-
I don't
but then you're like, I'm
remember, I just
literally
keep
never
selling
getting
them.
this.
Yeah, I don't remember which ones they are anymore, so I just sell them.
Or when your unit dies and you're like that was literally 50 HP more than my health. You're like, I would have been fine if I had that grind.
Yep. Yep.
That's the worst feeling ever. You're like, my flat defense grind, I need it now.
Like, just give us a building that can stack that, right? I mean, we've been waiting for it. I mean, there's nothing
So
wrong with that.
it's understandable to
Yeah.
have like the harsher limitation on rune space because we can store runes on monsters, right? We literally can't store gems anywhere. So like, and we need so many of them too.
Yeah.
What do you think about also like fixing the or improving the crafting for ancient runes, like to make it? I feel like since you already have like when you craft, it has to be like 5 different rune types. Can you just remove like the 5-star runes from it? There's already like so many variables, and it's already going to be a rare rune minimum. It's just
I like that.
I don't.
It's kind of hard to craft them too, like because most people aren't going to commit to making a lot of 2As. You're just going to make the 2A and then that's it, right? So
Yeah.
at least that way it makes like if you want to farm 2A skill ups, it's more worth it.
Right.
Yeah, or at least give you like something after you finish your 2A, at least the chance of a usable rune. Because like every single time I finish a 2A, you get like what, about 10 to 15 rune crafts of materials, and it never really pans out unless you're super lucky.
How about, yeah, because dimensional energy from what they've said so far is going to be very limited, right? So what if it's like every 100 crafts you do only for ancients, you're going to get a legend chance. The legend could still be flat, fuck it, the legend could be anything, but it would feel a little bit better or something like that too, right?
Yeah, just
I
move the
just feel
5
it's
star.
so hard,
There's already
dude.
enough variables. Yeah.
Or just take out the 5 stars. You're right. Yeah, true. All right. Very, very good podcast today. We went through a lot of different things. Focused a lot on siege. I think the elaborating on this siege topic is really good. So maybe we'll bring you guys back again next week. I think we gotta kind of nail it a little bit more. Kind of give them some really hardcore suggestions so they can improve siege, as well as getting into August when they're actually gonna have the tournament. I'm sure they don't exactly know what they're doing yet, maybe. So giving suggestions might be pretty good. Yeah, for them to make it great for those top guilds that may be competing. But thank you guys for joining me on today's podcast. That was good. We're going to put the link to all of their descriptions down below. I mean, in the description, I'll put all their links to the channels below, except Ryujin, who doesn't stream yet, but I'm going to put his down below, and hopefully maybe he starts streaming a little bit more. Who knows?
Yes.
Yeah.
When he's not stressing about
try.
Siege. I'm sure people would want to tune in because not that many people are Siege, experts. So, they'd be like, hey, I want to, lead my guild to victory. I want to check out some kind of Siege mastermind. So might want to check you out for that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this podcast. Leave those comments down below. Hit that like, and I'll see you guys in the next live streamer podcast or video. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Cheers, guys.